Still did.
All right.
They said you were good. It's not funny.
Oh. That's nice.
I saw them Sunday night.
What? Sunday night what?
Yeah, this Sunday night. So it's Sunday. We actually get together. Okay.
How come you don't need so much headroom?
Yeah, all right.
You see so much blank wall.
I'm not able to
I know, that's why I changed it, and then you change it back.
What's still going on? What's still going on?
I did something in that picture.
They won't be serving
Josh.
No. Stay.
Byam darkecha, we're beginning at a new Byam page, Reish Samadal. Zorchim lahargish is Hashem's Baruch. How is one zorchim to feel HaKadosh Baruch? Zorchim lahargish is Hashem's Baruch. That's the answer by making brachas. That's the best way. But we'll try to understand that more. Zed dor dorshav on top. Zed dor dorshav mavakshe panecha. We see that in our generation, it's in every generation, but mavakshe panecha. That we're seeking connection to Kadosh Baruch Hu, mavakshe panecha. Rotzim anu ma'od. We want very, very much. Liskos lahargish is Hashem's Baruch. To be zeichet to feel Hashem's Baruch. Lahargish is Hashem's Baruch. Lahargish es mitzius oritanu, to feel His presence with us. Lahargish, and to feel like Yaakov Avinu v'hinei Hashem nitzav alav. He felt HaKadosh Baruch Hu upon him. Hinei Hashem nitzav alav. The liskos lahagia lahava lira, and to be zeichet to come to Medrega feeling true ahava, true yira. L'or hadvekes v'habitl. Or of Dvekes and Bittul Tefillah, and davening oimid lifnei hamelech. To feel that presence of the King when we're standing and davening. Ulis anig al Hashem, and to delight in this relationship. Lehenus miziv shchinasa. Aval Rabbim Shalom, but many people ask, Manasa, what should we do? How are we zeichet to this, for this hargosha, for this feeling? L'zois bonu b'maimer zeh, and that's the purpose of this maimer. Ulai niske l'sayeh l'mavakshe Hashem, that perhaps we'll be able to help all those who are mavakshe Hashem. L'zkois l'psichas alev, to be zeichet for psichas alev, for the heart to open. Rachma v'yisbarach. Rachma v'yisbarach. Upashu shetzarach lashkir b'zeh avoda. Like anything else, in avodas Hashem, one has to invest. Avoda, you have to work at it. It doesn't just happen on its own. Our bli safek shemishu v'emes rotza, but there's no question that whoever really wants, yisayehu me'ashamayim, will help me'ashamayim. Ki Hashem is baruch habanu li'yisrael kadosh. We have been chosen by Hashem to be in Am Kadosh. Am Segula V'Reitza Lishkan B'Seichenu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to have a relationship with each and every one of us. Look at the two notes, Nun Vav, Taf, Nun Zayin. V'ini Yeshnam Nefashu Shem Yitivam Noites Yoyse Lahargish. There are people who by nature, they're more inclined to feeling this. They're more sensitive, emotional type of people. V'meila Nakelahem, this is easier for them. The ikones la hargoshes Hashem, to enter into this world of hargoshes Hashem, feeling Hashem. L'dveikus bo. Omnam gam la'elu. However, even these people, the more sensitive, emotional types, halayeshtam zmanim, there are times, shahar hargosha ena mesarevis me'atzma. But the hargosha doesn't just come on its own. L'tzrichim l'ulmad is derech havayda b'zeh. So everybody needs to have a mahalach, a derech avoda, have to work on this. Even those for whom it's easier, they also have times when it's not possible. So everybody needs to learn a derech and avoda of how to strengthen these hargoshes. Meishis kol b'shvil hargish is Hashem baruch tzarich la'asir es haklipos lefi inyana. Of course, this is the hard part of all of this. That in order to be able to have a hargosh of Hashem, one has to remove the klippas that are blocking between oneself and Kadosh Baruch Hu. Each person, the fi inyana, it's very, very hard. Like the Svarim say that if you want to glue two things together, you have to remove whatever sticky stuff or junk is there from before. Or else it's not going to stay connected. If you want to put two things together, you have to take away that which is in between. So obviously, there are klippas that are blocking this dveikus, this hergish. The same way that you have in a relationship between people, there are certain things that are there that are causing the two to have a difficulty in being able to connect one with the other because of klippas that are in between. The lifresh mehadvarim shemegashim osa. In order to be able to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, one has to be more like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All relationships depend on that, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is tahor. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the tachlis hakadusha v'tahara that we can't understand, but we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has revealed to us in the Torah that there are certain things that take us away from Him. And those are klippas. Some of them are thicker klippas, and some of them are not so thick. But they're all things that divide, that separate between us and Hashem. Being able to feel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence doesn't mean, as he'll explain, doesn't mean that a person is tzaddik yisod olam in order to have a hergish of Hashem. But there's certainly an avodah to peel away those things that are in the way. And the more one is making an effort to strengthen these hargashas, one has to take more of the feels away. To begin with, the thick ones, the strong klippas, and then as one progresses, the same thing with the relationship, to take away the thinner ones. You cannot expect light to pass through a black window. The window is black. If it's dark, the window is black. So then, no matter how the sun is shining, it's a beautiful sunny day. But if the windows are black, so the sunlight's not going to come in. You have to clean. You have to clean the windows. And the more you clean the window, the less schmutz there is on the window, so the more light is able to come in. Therefore, the pure tzaddikim, they live in a state of tanug eloki, of tremendous pleasure and delight, and that connection, that feeling of dveikus b'Hashem, because the light is pouring in through the window, pouring into their lives through the window, because they've worked so hard to clean the window. So they feel that, and that light is constantly shining. Akash Baruch Hu wants v'shachanti b'soichem. Akash Baruch Hu wants us to feel, to experience that awe of His presence. So that it's not because the light is not there. It's not that the light is not coming, but the windows have to be clean. So the tzaddikim who have worked so hard. I mean, there are people who are born with natural natiyah to keep their windows clean. But the tzaddikim, this one, that one, everybody's different. They work on making sure. And therefore, they live in this tanug eloki. Kehem margishim es ha'or. They're able to feel that light because the windows are clean. A chayzek gadol v'otzim. A very strong light. The kol Yehudi, every Jew, Adesha Kabbalah Atzmo La'alois, was makabel upon himself La'alois, to ascend higher and higher. Oid Kisatz, Binyane Kedusha. Ubefrat, especially when it comes to Binyane Kedusha, the Yom of Yosef and Tzaddik. Because we know that darkness of Byam Habris is very, very, very thick. And our generation has windows the windows are very, very covered in all kinds of stuff, and that's the Inyani Kedusha. Ubefrat bekoach esak haTorah b'dveikus. So working on Kedusha, Yosef and Tzaddik, and esak haTorah b'dveikus, and learning Torah with Hashem. The Shem Yishmuel and many tzaddikim talk about how Torah brings a person closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's nothing that's more powerful than Torah to bring a person to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But that's only a Torah that's, the Shem Shmuel's other tzaddikim explain, it's only a Torah that's a Torah ruchni. It's a Torah that's with Hashem. The person just learns Torah because it's interesting, or he wants to be able to be knowledgeable and so on. So that Torah is not a Torah, it doesn't have the koiches to fight against the Gashmis. In other words, it doesn't really necessarily help to clean the windows. Even if a person learns Torah that's not lishma, but he wants it to be, he thinks about it, he tries to bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu into his learning, so that already is has powerful cleaning, koiches. But if a person's Torah is without Hashem's Baruch, it's purely a matter of seichel. Sichlius cannot fight against that dirt. Sichlius doesn't clean the window. Seichel, the intellect, doesn't clean the window. Ruchnius, dveikus, cleans the window. So when a person is learning Torah with Hashem, so then that is a power wash. But if a person learns without Hashem's Baruch, just sichlius, seichel can't clean anything. Seichel could make things very dirty, but seichel doesn't clean things. Avodas Hashem, Emuna, Bittul, Dveikis, all of that is, when Torah is in such a way, then it's very powerful. And Yocheliskers, Leziku Chilor, it can be zeicher to purify, to cleanse, to clean, and to be able to experience that or. Okay. Hagashas ha'or. Kol Yehudi writes a lahargis Hashem Yisborach. Period. Every single Jew, whether he knows or he doesn't know it. Kol Yehudi writes to every Jew wants lahargis Hashem Yisborach. V'niyesh harbe mini hagashas. A person has many emotions. V'roisham hagashas kabbalas all. In this inyan of hagashas Hashem, first there's a feeling kabbalas all, that one accepts on the most basic level. He's makabel al malchus shamayim, to do the best he can, to be faithful to Hashem, to keep the mitzvahs and so on. It's kabbalas all. Then there's ahava, love, v'yira, dveikis, ishtakikus, longing, bittul, ragoshas hashros ha'or, and finally to actually feel the warmth of that light of Hashem's presence. V'hinei kol ha'hargoshas, all of these hargoshas, from the most basic of kabbalas all to hashros ha'or, all of these hargoshas, miusados al hargosha ha'kelelas, they're all built upon and based upon the klolistik hargosha, the overall hargosha shi lahargish es mitzius Hashem Yisborach, to tzura muchashiz, to feel the mitzius, the existence, the reality of Hashem, the tzura muchashiz, in a very, very tangible way. She's a nikra b'klolius lahargish dveikus, which in general is called to feel dveikus. Ki af shekol Yisrael ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim, because even though all Jews have within them emunah b'Hashem, because we're all the descendants of Avraham Avinu, it says Byam Hashem, we're all ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim. The believers, the children of believers, even if your parents claimed Chalila to be atheists, they're Jews and therefore they're ma'aminim, and we're all ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim. Mikol makom yesh lefamim kaishi lahargish b'ofen muchashi. Even though emunah is something which is genetic in us, and we all have emunah within us, still, there are times that it's difficult to feel that in a real and tangible way. Kan magashmi, here in this physical world, where the windows are very, very dark. Physical reality is something which makes it very, very difficult to feel. When Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, so then we were able to go into the Yam and to say Zakeli Maheyu. Zakeli Maheyu. But in Mitzrayim, in that life of the Meitzarim of Mitzrayim, it's hard to feel. It's hard to feel that. You know that Moshe Rabbeinu had to go outside of the city to daven. So Mitzrayim was so infested with Avodah Zarah, and with Gilei Rayis, it was a chefts of Avodah Zarah and Gilei Rayis. It was almost impossible to daven there, even for people as great as Moshe and Aaron. Of course, Akash Baruch was in Mitzrayim also. Akash Baruch Hashem is everywhere, but it's very hard to feel Hashem's presence in such darkness, in such a black place. To feel Metzius Hashem's Baruch. B'zeh ikar ha'avodah. We'll do the notes later. B'zeh ikar ha'avodah. And this is the ikar of the avodah. Ki im Yehudi yizke lahatzliach lahargish es Hashem's Baruch. The person is zoicha is matzliach to sense Hashem, to have that sense of Hashem's Metzius, His presence. Obetchusha behir b'seichel. So that might not something which you feel strong emotionally right now, but you're thinking about. You're trying to be misboinei. You try to think about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shemagish Hashem nitzav alav. To think that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here right now, nitzav alav upon you. Obetchushas halev, a feeling of the heart. Shemagish es mitziusav es or kedushasav. To feel His presence and the or of Hashem's kedusha. V'yagish is hatanluk shemispashit mihaor. And to be able to feel the tachlis of this avodah is to be able to feel that tanluk, that pleasure. Shemispashit mihaor, that comes from that light of Hashem's presence. As I kvar zochel l'shorish kol avodas halev, that He's already been zochel to connect to the shorish of all avodas halev. And then davening and everything else comes from that. A person was able to feel the mitzius of Hashem. Mitzius, Hashem's presence, Hashem's existence, His being with you. That person is ready. Bez Hashem will be able to come in an easier, much easier way to Kabbalah Soul, Have, Yira, Bittel, and so on, Ishtakikus, all of those wonderful things. Aidei Avodah Pratis Al Oisa Mida. By working Al Oisa Mida, by working on Ahava, by working on Yira. But before a person works on loving Hashem, or fearing Hashem, meaning feeling that awe of Hashem, and feeling a great longing for Hashem. Before a person can work on any of those pratim, the beginning of this avodah is concentrating on Hashem's presence, on the mitzius of Hashem, on the mitzius of Hashem, on his being alive and with you and there. That's the beginning. That's the aleph. Let's look at some of the notes.
Rabbi, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Very often you feel this connection to Hashem when you're not well. Well, God forbid somebody is not well, right? It's almost easier. So is this talking about that as well, or it's really talking about from a different perspective than how very often we feel very close to Hashem when Hashem brings on a big difficulty?
Well, no, we're learning here about the avodah of that relationship, not when it comes as a result of neediness, as being needy or being frightened or worried. That's also very important. That one in that time of need turns to Hashem and thinks of Hashem. That's tremendous. But now we're talking about everything for Hashem. It's a regular day, and we want to be mekayim the mitzvah of Haftas Hashem Mekaver, and we'll go sit back vekas Hashem, not because am I in trouble. That's also where do you turn at a time of trouble is very important. But that's not the avodah that we're talking about now. It's an avodah of Hargashas Hashem, to be more over that and to want that, not just as like a safety net, because to fall on that at time of need or difficulty. So let's see the notes a little bit. Taf Nun Ches. Hine kol Yehudi Yirei Shamayim, any God-fearing Jew, Yesh lo lefachosis hamadrega shel hagoshes mitzius Hashem zorach lagabi kabbalah soul. The basic 001, which is itself an accomplishment, a feeling kabbalah soul that a religious, orthodox, practicing, serious Jew has, is this feeling like that I have to be careful with the Shabbos. I have to be careful with not doing Averis. That's the basic, bare bones Kabbalah soul, a feeling of He's watching me, and I have an achrayus to do what I'm supposed to do, to stay away from the things I'm supposed to stay away from. That's for a Jew. That's a simple Yirei Shamayim. Simple Yirei Shamayim. Which again, that itself is very chashuv, to be Yirei Shamayim. Now the problem is that even though we all have that, all of us who are Jews that are Mekayim Torah mitzvahs, we all have that Kabbalah soul. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, there are some people that just do it because of some cultural, to belong. But a serious person that's Shema mitzvahs it has this basic Kabbalah soul to accept the responsibilities that come with being a Jew that believes in Hashem. But if you don't, but you can go your whole life without ever thinking about why do I keep Shabbos? Or why am I not going to, want any chametz around? And we're going to be busy trying to get rid of this stuff over the next couple of weeks. So everybody's busy getting rid of the chametz. And that's because there's a Kabbalah soul, because you accept that schus, that privilege, and that responsibility to be a Jew that's an Eved Hashem, and an Eved Hashem gets rid of the chametz. But you could be crazy cleaning. You could be like, one of those, you could be with a flashlight under your car seat or something, or with the refrigerator on top of your head, and you're meshiga with all the chametz cleaning, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you think for a second, why is this so important to me? What is it about? Why do these crumbs get me nervous? What is it? If there's no simas halev, if you just go as a person of Kabbalah soul, but you don't think about why there's a Kabbalah soul. You just do it because it's almost Pesach. So the choice is either to clean it, to run to Acapulco or something. So why do you even the person that's even the unfortunate person who's spending a year's salary to get to some prison with palm trees. So even that person is self-kosov, is a Kabbalah soul. The guy spending like $100,000 because he's afraid of chametz. There's also an avodah. He's spending a lot of money. The guy's spending crazy amount of money. And this year it's going to be much more because the eggs, I heard, are so expensive. So, although in most places they don't really use eggs, that. They use phony, they use fake eggs. But if a person is spending so much money, why is he spending so much money? To have a vacation? Even though they call it a Passover vacation. Is that crazy to spend so much money on a vacation? You could why would you want to spend a vacation in such a matzah? The Torah says that person's also a Kabbalah soul. I feel too weak to prepare for Pesach. I feel it's too hard to prepare for Pesach. Whatever it might be that's driving you to that desperate situation to spend all your money on such foolishness. So, but still, there's a Kabbalah soul. There is a Kabbalah soul. Because I'm a Yid, I'm a Jew. No person in his right mind would do such a thing. Why would anybody want to do such a thing? To spend so much money to go into such a matter, to be sitting in a lobby somewhere for 9 days. Of course, in the pictures they show you like they could, you can go skydiving or something on Chalamoy, but basically to sit in some lobby for 9 days, and this year's longer. It's Shabbos and everything. So why would you pay so much money to be so miserable? The Torah says. Because there's a Kabbalah soul, because you don't want to be Mechal Yontif. You want to be able to keep Pesach. And you feel that the best way, the most pleasant way, the easiest way that you could keep Pesach in Tavshin Pei Hey is by going someplace, not sitting in your own house. So even though that's of course a terrible mistake and a problem, but Sof Kol Sof, it's also a madrega of Yirei Shamayim that the person has. Unfortunately, if you would see what goes on in the kitchen, so then he would feel pretty bad about that. So So that's Kabbalah Soul also. V'mis boinen bargish also yosim leiv shu kain margish mirachokis mitzius Hashem's brach. Now, if you stop and think while you're cleaning, if you stop for just for a second, think, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I so nervous? Why am I so afraid about like there being a box of noodles in the cabinet or something? Why am I so afraid of this? Or finding a noodle. My wife will, she'll come running, like she found something, and we have all the toys with the grandchildren playing. She found a Cheerio, and she's going around the house with this Cheerio. Did you see? I got this Cheerio. It's like makes my wife's the happiest person in the world. We didn't have such an Indian, but Jews have this. Is beautiful. She's showing everybody. She's calling up all the kids. I found the Cheerio. You wouldn't believe it. Everybody makes fun. You don't have to clean all the toys. They were cleaned, and everything is fine. And it was all put away. Everything is fine. I found the Cheerio. What? He'd have such an Indian. That you found the Cheerios, the biggest simcha of your life. Can you imagine if a guy would see this? If someone's running around showing a Cheerio to everybody. Look at this. See what I found? I found the Cheerio. It's an amazing thing. And if you stop and think, why am I so happy that I found the Cheerio? It's because of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why else is it? It's only because of Hashem. It's because Hashem is Baruch. Hashem wants me to get rid of this stuff. So even that Kabbalah Soul, basic Kabbalah Soul of an Erlich Yid is already a Hargosha Mirachok. It's already a feeling of Elokus. If you don't think about it, but it's already a Shukain Margish Mirachok is Metzius Hashem V'Shoy Lachein Hu Machriach Es Atzmo L'Shmo B'Kolo. That's why he's doing all this stuff. That's why he's doing it. And the person, and even the person that's going away, and he's busy trying to figure out, which suit do I take? First day is what shoes do I take, and what do I have to pack, and to get things ready, whatever it might be. Even though that's not what Kosh Baruch Hu intended, but still. There's a Hagosh Mirachok that I'm doing this L'man Hashem. The Shmo B'Kolo. But he has to force himself, stop and to think, why am I doing this? What's the point of this? And the answer is because I'm an Eved Hashem. Doesn't mean I have a Havas Hashem, a Yivas Hashem, Dveikus, a Shtoikikus, Bittul, all the Madregas we're going to talk about, that's something else. But Emunah Hashem, in the Mitzias of Hashem I have. That's why I'm doing this. V'im kain, Kol Yehudi Margish Mamish is Mitzias Hashem Shema. Every observant Jew really feels Margish Mamish is Mitzias Hashem Shema. Feels Mamish the Mitzias of Hashem. El Kol HaSheila Kam is a Chai V'Kar V'Morgish Eslam. The question, of course, is how alive is this feeling? How much are you thinking about it? How much are you feeling that presence of Hashem? But that's why you do this. We're all going to put on tefillin in a few minutes. So what are you wrapping yourself with these straps and these boxes? What are you doing? Again, if somebody would see this, it's also a Cheerio. It's an expensive, beautiful Cheerio. What are you doing all of this? What are you wrapping yourself up in these things? Because it's Mitzvah Hashem. But B'Shas Ma'aseh, you might be standing there yawning and wishing you had a coffee to drink or talking to somebody with your tefillin chas v'shalom. But the reason that you have your tefillin on is because there's a Kabbalah soul, and because there's a basic awareness of Hashem. But that awareness of Hashem is something that you might not be thinking about, and it's not alive inside of you. Tafnon Tes. Hamadrega Harishona. The most basic first madrega by Hagoshas Ha'or, to feel this or, he, Hagoshas Ha'or Benavsha. To feel this Ha'or, this little spark of Hashem's presence within you. Shemargish is Hashem's Baruch B'Seicha. Zui ha'argasha sheyesh l'adam v'shal shu l'omei Torah. And this is something which is especially easy to access when you're learning Torah. You're listening, you're hearing Hashem talk to you when you're learning Torah. When you're davening, you're talking to Hashem. When you're learning, you're listening to Hashem. So just to stop and think about that. That right now, Hashem is speaking to me. It was Loimet Torah. And every single word of Torah is Or Hashem. Okshem Zamer is a niggin. Niggin, a person singing a niggin. Also, very, very simple way to feel a basic presence of Hashem. That Or of Hashem is when you go to Makom Kodesh, to a holy place. You go to Yerushalayim, you go to the Kaisel, you go to Kevra Tzaddik, and so on. You go to a place, or in Shul, Makom Kodesh. And these are all true Hagashas of Hashem. Very basic Hagashas of Hashem. Where there is a dvekus between your soul, there is something there with Hashem. Tav Samach. Hagashas Mitzias Hashem Yisbarach Yesh Shloisha Inyanim. There are three Inyanim with this Hagasha. Aleph. Etzem ha'hakara, the Metzius Hashem Yisbarach, imanu, u'bechibur imanu. First is just being aware, recognizing that Hashem is there. U'bechibur, that He's connected to, attached to you. The behirus in a clear way. Ki'ilu rawaso. Ki'ilu, you'd be able to see Him. Of course, we can't see Hashem, but ki'ilu, you see Hashem. Beis. Hagashas hadvekus b'hargasha chayu mi'ir b'libo. When there's a feeling of dvekus that is alive and is mi'ir b'libo, is shining, is illuminating within. V'zehu anikra derech klal hagashas or. That is what is usually called in this form hagashas or, a feeling of or, light. And Gimel is hatanug shemispashet ma'hagashas or, the tremendous tanug, the pleasure. That feeling of tanug, of einig, this mispashi that comes from that feeling of the Or of Hashem. However, even the first level, where a person has a very clear awareness of Metzius Hashem, that Hashem is here, a very clear Hakar Behira b'Metzius Hashem as well. V'gam hatanug me'or yichom likar lefamim or. That also could be called Or. Enjoying that, just relishing that awareness of Hashem's presence, that's also Or. You call Hasaga Velikus, because any Hasaga is Velikus, any awareness of Hashem, Ben B'moach, Ben B'leiv, whether it's something you're thinking about, or something that you're feeling in the heart, Ben Ba'akar, Ben Ba'agasha, whether it's Akara or Hargasha, whatever. Even in something which you're not emotionally charged by it, but there's an awareness, there's a hakara, there's a thought. That means that there's light that's coming through the window. It means that there's light that's coming in. Therefore, all we're going to learn about in this Maimer works with the connection is talking about all of these different levels of Hagashas Hashem. Tav Samachal, V'zeh Kal Yosek, Hashem Yisbarach also Shepesor Chayi Ha'adam, you law Hagashas. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us in such a way that, again, everybody's different, but Hashem made a person in such a way, he'll have a person who's healthy, will have Hagashas feelings, could go on a Havavir, that Ahava, Hashem created the capacity to love the person. Therefore, even the simplest person doesn't have to be an ish pnimi or an ish ruchni wants to love people, wants to be loved by other people. There's a natural awe, natural fear of certain things in the world. A person's frightened by different things. In other words, emotions are, we're wired to feel things, to feel love, to feel fear. That's how we were created. With certain people it's stronger, with people it's less. But everybody has, any healthy person has hargashas, has feelings, emotions. And the whole tachlis of having hargashas, of being, having these natural emotions, is that we should, like in everything in our Avodas Hashem, is to take these emotions and to use them as a way of feeling not just ahav, and not just that I love this, I love my friend, I love my kids, something, but to be able to use that emotion to come to Ahavas Hashem, like the story with the that everybody knows from the Rebbe Reb Zushia, when it happened that the Rebbe Reb Baruch Meshbetz says, you know, the Baruch Meshbetz, the Baal Sham's grandson, the Baruch Meshbetz was a very strong Kitzoni person, and he came to a certain there's a Kretschmann inn that he came to, and he was very, very, very tired from his journey, his avodah, whatever it was, and the Jew that owned this place. So the Rebbe Baruch Meshbetz said, asked him, if the person was very excited that he had the tzaddik here, and the Rebbe Baruch said, how many rooms? He said, oh, maybe he has 2 rooms. So in this place, these are not hotels. It's not the Hyatt. She's got 2 rooms. So the Baruch Meshbetz said, I'm going to pay. I want to pay for both rooms. There's nobody in the other one. I want to pay for both. I don't want anybody. I just want to make sure that it's quiet over here. Please, quiet. So he said, of course, Rebbe, of course. There's no need to pay for it. The Rebbe can. It's quiet. Nobody's here. And then what happened is that a short time later, apparently they were heading to something. There was something that they were going to, and a short time later, who shows up? The Rebbe Reb Zushia. Everybody knows that the Rebbe Reb Zushia was a fiery tzaddik. And the Rebbe Reb Zushia came there to the inn, and right away he starts hugging the inn. This is Reb Zushia, and he says, as a yid, and I want to have a place to stay. And this guy said, oh no, it's like this. My lucky day. I got the 2 biggest tzaddikim in the world are here, Baruch from Eshbitz, and I got the Rebbe Reb Zushia. But he promised her. So he says. So the innkeeper says, Rebbe, he says to Reb Zushia, Rebbe, it would be the greatest honor, but I don't know what to do because Baruch from Eshbitz. So he says, Baruch is here. That's my best friend. He's gonna be so excited. Oh, we're gonna start bragging. And the innkeeper just says, Rebbe, hold on for a second. So he goes up to the room and he knocks at Baruch, and he's scared. And the Baruch comes and he says, yes. He says, there's somebody here. He said, look, we made an agreement, and I told you I'm happy to pay for that, but the agreement is that it's quiet here, and I don't want anybody else. So he said, no, but he said, Rebbe, the Rebbe Reb Zushia is here. So Baruch Meshbetz said, Reb Zushia is here. So there's a whole story. So then the Rebbe Baruch said, okay. And what's the shayla? Reb Zushia is here. And then of course the Rebbe Reb Zushia sees Reb Baruch when he goes out of his kelim with a hava, and Reb Baruch says, listen, Zushia, I need a break a little bit, okay? So can we have some just so the Rebbe Zushia never called himself he always said Zushia. He said, no, Zushia knows, Zushia understands. Zushia will behave, will be quiet. Yeah, okay. Like you need your space. It's like, so in those places they ate together with the balabas. The guy's wife would cook, and that was how the hotel worked. So the balabas is sitting there with with his wife, and there was a kid or something, and she puts out on the table some things, and the Rebbe Abzushi is good. He's good. He's controlling himself. He makes brachas like normal, like he tries to make it normal, whatever. And then the mother, the lady put out some hot peppers or something. And the kid says, "Oh, I love hot peppers." And the Baruch Meshvus heard that. He says, "Oh no," and it happened. The Rebbe Abzushi jumps on the table. Everything falls all over the place. And everything fell on the Rebbe Baruch Meshvus, so stuff food. And the Rebbe Abzushi starts to dance and scream. He says, "He loves pepper. I love the Baruch Shalom. He loves peppers." And the Rebbe is doing a whole record. And the Balabas is terrified. They're all like laughing. The kid and the Balabas is terrified. And the Baruch Meshvus says, "Listen." He held out for an hour or two. That was that he says. And they say that the Rebbe Baruch Meshvus, he asked that when he would die, that they bury him in the Tachlich, and that they should put that coat that he had that was all dirty. And he said, "This is a mantle. This is a coat of Ahavas Hashem. This is my coat of Ahavas Hashem." That the Rebbe Abzushi got everything on my coat. That's the Rebbe Abzushi's Rikud. That's how he wanted to be. That's how he wanted to be buried in that coat. It's it's hard for us to be masig such a thing, but with tzaddikim. So when he says he loves peppers, I love Hashem, means that that person, whoever that person was, that person's need of ahava was created for what the Rebbe Abzushi did with it, but he used it for peppers. So you love the Yankees, or you love the Mets, or I know that's strange, but you know, I love the Yankees, or I love the Mets, and you love. So if the Rebbe Abzushi was with you, he'd be doing he'd go out of his kingdom. He loves the Yankees. I love HaKadosh Baruch.
It's like Yaakov and Yosef.
With the crying, with the kissing and the crying, yeah. But that midah of ahava, that the Rebbe Abzushi, the midah of ahava is, the Rebbe Abzushi was using that emotion entirely. Everything was, all the energy of ahava was poured into his relationship with Hashem. We all have that midah of ahava. Just do you use it for peppers, or do you use it for Avodas Hashem? But the midah of ahava. Again, a normal, healthy net. There are people that because of things that they've been through, it's hard for them to have any feelings at all. It's terrible. I forgot the word. There are people that they become like. I met somebody like that once. They become, what's the word for it? They become like stone. Catatonic. It's a terrible, terrible thing. The person becomes mamish like. There's no hargeshim at all. There's nothing. Nothing. It's like blank. That's a terrible sickness. And all they want to do is to help this person. He should be able to have a heritage or something, even to feel pain. I told you many times about that. My father told me that while he I was asking about this once, and then afterwards I read things about this as well. But my father said that while he was in the concentration camp, so I was asking about feelings and emotions and missing and crying. My father said, nothing. They walked around, shut down. Because if you would allow yourself to feel anything, you wouldn't survive. So there was this natural thing that they just turned off. That only after the war. And I said that they cried for the next 50, 60, 70, 80 years. But during that time, my father said, no, we used to just sit there or do the stuff, whatever we had to do. My father, you see, it was like even when they yelled at you, or they gave you a whack, you just stood there. So we didn't cry. When you got whacked, you just got up and you continued. but to start to feel something. So there is such a thing where a person then goes through something so traumatic, but the only choice that he has is to shut down. That's a terrible machla. That's not the natural state of a person. The natural healthy state of a person is to have emotions. Avodas hargeshim and avodas Hashem means to be able to take these natural emotions and to draw them into one's avodas Hashem. But not to think I don't have any emotions. You do have emotions, and that's why even something as simple as loving the Peppers or loving the Yankees, even something simple and silly, that's also a metzius of that hargasha inside of you. The child is of using it. The bottom of the page in the note. It's the most natural thing for a person to feel love for another person. Or to be afraid of something that's scary to you. So you know everybody knows what that emotion feels like. And even bittul, when you're in the presence of some great tzaddik, to feel a bittul to the tzaddik, to feel I'm nothing. And when the person felt these hargashas, they were very real and very, very, very deep. The note continues on the next page. To feel that. Therefore, that person can understand it. There is such a thing as feeling this in your relationship with Hashem. Therefore, the concept of feeling ahava, feeling love, everybody has his shir. It's just what is it that you love? But it's there. But therefore, the whole avodah of Ahavas Hashem is taking that natural heritage of love that you have and understanding why is that something and how is that something that is in your relationship with Hashem. And therefore, it's relatively easy because Baruch Hashem, you're not catatonic, so you can. The avodah is to feel this ahava, not just ahava for this ahava Hashem in a way that's tangible. And from there, you can develop the other things from the ahava, from the natural ahava. You can develop ahava Hashem, Yos Hashem, Dveikus Hashem, Stoikus Hashem, Bittul Hashem, because you have the capacity to feel that. It's just how to direct that to one's avodah Hashem, which Hashem will continue with in the